Every single day, thousands of people sit down at a laptop with zero credentials, zero experience, and zero savings, and walk away days later with their first $500. Not from a lottery, not from a scam. From 5 specific methods that the internet quietly made possible and almost nobody talks about in plain terms. The question worth asking is this: if these methods are real, documented, and repeatable, why do most people still believe they can't do it? By the end of this, you'll understand exactly how each of these methods works, who is already using them right now, and here's the part that will genuinely disturb you: how simple the entry point actually is. Because the most uncomfortable truth isn't that these methods exist, it's that the barrier protecting them was never skill, it was information. And that barrier is about to come down. The first method has been hiding in plain sight for years. Freelance writing. Not journalism, not novels. Simple, functional written content, product descriptions, blog posts, email sequences that businesses cannot operate without. Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr host thousands of active job listings at any given moment, many of them listing rates that can range widely, with some postings offering $50 or more per piece, depending on scope and client budget. The documented reality is that clients on these platforms frequently hire writers with no published portfolio. What they're buying isn't a resume. They're buying availability and reliability. A single accepted order is enough to establish a profile. A profile with 3 to 5 completed orders begins to rank. Some writers have reported reaching early earnings milestones within their first few weeks, though timelines vary significantly depending on niche, availability, and platform competition. But here's where it gets interesting. The second method doesn't require you to write a single word. It requires you to resell what already exists. Third-party sellers, a category that includes individual resellers practicing retail arbitrage, have accounted for a significant and growing share of Amazon's total sales volume, according to Statista data. The broader third-party marketplace generates hundreds of billions in gross merchandise value annually, though individual arbitrage results vary widely. That number didn't come from corporations. Individual sellers, including those new to reselling, represent a meaningful portion of third-party activity on Amazon, though the marketplace is also home to many established professional sellers. The mechanics are brutally simple. Find an item selling locally for $3, verify it lists online for $18, buy 10, ship them. The gap between those two numbers is the business. Remember what I said at the start: the barrier was never skill. The third method proves it. Print on demand. Platforms like Redbubble, Merch by Amazon, and Printful allow anyone to upload a graphic design, even one created using free tools like Canva, and sell it on physical products without ever touching inventory. The platform prints, ships, and handles returns. The seller collects a royalty. Some sellers have reported reaching early sales milestones within their first month, though results vary and are not guaranteed, especially given the time it can take for listings to gain visibility on competitive platforms. Research and community experience among print-on-demand sellers frequently suggests that niche specificity, a regional phrase, a profession-specific slogan, can outperform generic or purely aesthetic designs, though individual results vary, and this is the part nobody talks about. The fourth method sits at the intersection of everything you already know. Online tutoring. Platforms like Preply, Wyzant, and Cambly are actively desperate for people fluent in English, competent in high school mathematics, or knowledgeable in any single subject above a beginner level. Hourly rates on tutoring platforms vary by subject and platform, with some listing starting rates in the range of $15 or more per hour. Cambly's platform in particular is known for relatively quick onboarding, though individual experiences with first payments will differ. No teaching degree required, no certification, just knowledge of something another person wants to learn. The fifth method is the quietest of all, and arguably the most scalable. Microtask platforms. Amazon Mechanical Turk, Clickworker, and Remote Tasks pay users to complete small digital tasks: image labeling, data verification, audio transcription, survey completion. Individual tasks pay cents. But users on communities like Reddit's r/beermoney frequently self-report earnings in the range of $8 to $15 per hour on microtask platforms during active work sessions. Though these figures are self-reported, and individual results will vary. $500 at $10 an hour is 50 hours. Spread across 3 weeks, that's less than 2.5 hours per day. So return to the question posed at the beginning. If these methods are real, documented, and openly accessible, why do most people believe they can't do it? The answer, it turns out, isn't motivation. It isn't work ethic. Research in behavioral economics and financial psychology frequently identifies perceived complexity and fear of failure as significant barriers to initiating new financial behaviors. The human brain is wired to avoid starting things it believes it cannot finish. Strip away that illusion, and the path to $500 isn't a mystery at all. It's a checklist. The question that remains, the one worth sitting with, is not whether you can reach $500. It's what happens to your perception of money, work, and possibility the moment you actually do.